Welcome back to the Business Book Club. Today, we are diving deep into Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. It's a book that's gotten a lot of buzz
Oh, yeah.
in the entrepreneurial world,
Mhm.
and for good reason.
What's really striking about Hormozi is that he's built this incredible success from scratch. You know, he's not just some business school guru. He's actually walked the walk.
Yeah.
And even more interesting, he's bounced back from some major failures, including losing absolutely everything at one point.
Yeah. That Christmas Eve story he starts the book with,
Yeah.
it's wild. Imagine thinking you're going to the movies to celebrate,
Yeah.
and realizing your business partner has cleaned you out. You're broke, owe thousands in commissions. It's Christmas Eve. I don't know how you can come back from that.
He did. And that's what makes this book so compelling. It's not just theory. It's born out of his own experience.
Yeah.
You know, in the trenches. He goes from that low point to launching Gym Launch, turning it into a multi-million-dollar business. That story sets the stage for the whole book, which is essentially about crafting offers so good they're almost impossible to refuse.
So, where does he even start with that? Is it all about marketing tricks and salesy language?
It's actually much deeper than that. One of the first things he talks about is focusing on the right market. He uses this great analogy of a hot dog stand. Imagine you've got the worst hot dogs in the world, but you're the only stand open at 2 a.m. when everyone's starving.
Yeah.
You're going to sell out.
Right. Okay. I get it. It's about finding a market that's already hungry for what you're offering. But how do you know if a market is really a starving crowd?
He lays out 4 key things to look for. First, there needs to be massive pain. People have to really need what you're offering. Second, they need purchasing power. They have to be able to afford it. Third, they need to be easy to target. You have to be able to reach them effectively. And finally, it's got to be a growing market, not something that's dying out.
That makes a lot of sense. It reminds me of the story he tells about his friend Lloyd, who was trying to sell to newspapers for years. But then COVID hit. He pivoted to manufacturing masks.
Yeah.
And suddenly, his business took off. Same entrepreneur, totally different market.
Exactly. That highlights how crucial it is to choose your market wisely. You can have an amazing product, but if you're trying to sell it to a market that's shrinking or just doesn't care, you're going to have a hard time.
Okay, so let's say you found your starving crowd. How do you create an offer they can't resist?
This is where Hormozi gets into what he calls the value equation. He argues that value isn't just about the price. It's about how much the customer perceives they're getting in return. He breaks it down into 4 components. The dream outcome, the perceived likelihood of achievement, the time delay, and the effort and sacrifice involved.
You give me an example of that? I'm a little lost on how those all fit together.
Sure. Imagine you want to lose weight. Your dream outcome is that slimmer, healthier you. Now, let's compare 2 options, liposuction versus a year-long fitness program. Liposuction has a high perceived likelihood of achieving your dream outcome quickly, but comes with higher costs, risks, and potential discomfort. The fitness program is a longer process, requiring more effort on your part, but it's likely less expensive and comes with additional health benefits beyond weight loss.
So it's not just about what you get. It's about how easy it is to get there, how long it takes, and what you have to give up along the way.
Exactly. And Hormozi says the key to crafting a truly irresistible offer is to increase the dream outcome and the perceived likelihood of achievement, while decreasing the time delay and the effort and sacrifice.
So basically, you want to make your offer seem like the easiest, fastest, most guaranteed path to their desired outcome. But how do you actually do that?
Hormozi has a step-by-step process for this, which he calls creating a grand slam offer. First, you identify the customer's dream outcome, and I mean the real, deep-down desire, not just the superficial product they're buying.
So it's not about selling weight loss. It's about selling the feeling of confidence and energy that comes with being fit.
Exactly. Then you list out all the problems that are standing between them and that dream outcome. You brainstorm every obstacle, every fear, every doubt they might have.
So for the weight loss example, it might be things like, I don't have time to cook, I hate going to the gym, I've tried before and failed, that kind of thing.
Yes, the more problems you identify, the more opportunities you have to add value, because the next step is to brainstorm solutions to every single one of those problems.
Okay, so you're essentially turning those obstacles into selling points.
Exactly. And this is where you get to be really creative. If someone says, I don't have time to cook healthy meals, maybe you offer a meal planning guide, or recipe book, cooking classes, or even partner with a healthy meal delivery service.
That's brilliant. You're turning their objections into reasons to buy from you.
Right. Now, of course, you can't offer every solution under the sun. It has to be sustainable for your business, too. That's where the next step comes in. Trim and stack.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What does that mean?
You look at all the solutions you've brainstormed, and you eliminate any that are too costly for you to provide, or that just don't add enough perceived value for the customer. Then you take the remaining high-value solutions, and you bundle them together into an irresistible package.
So, it's about finding that sweet spot where you're giving the customer incredible value, while also making sure your business can actually deliver and profit from it.
You got it. That's the essence of crafting a truly irresistible offer. Now, on top of this amazing core offer, there are a few more tools that Hormozi suggests using.
Okay, I'm all ears. This is getting really interesting.
He's a big believer in using bonuses and guarantees to further enhance the perceived value and remove any remaining hesitation the customer might have. And then there are the psychological principles of scarcity and urgency. Bonuses are like the cherry on top. They're those extra goodies that address specific customer concerns and make your offer even more tempting.
So, if we stick with our weight loss example, maybe you throw in a bonus meal prepping guide, a collection of healthy dessert recipes, or even access to a private support group.
Exactly. You're showing the customer you've thought of everything and that you're going above and beyond to help them succeed. And when it comes to guarantees, Hormozi says they're one of the most powerful tools for removing risk and building trust.
It makes sense. When you offer a strong guarantee, you're basically saying, I'm so confident in this offer that I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. It takes the pressure off the customer and makes it much easier for them to take that leap.
He talks about a few different types of guarantees. There's the classic money-back guarantee, where you offer a full refund if the customer isn't satisfied. Then there are conditional guarantees, where the customer has to meet certain requirements to be eligible for a refund, like completing a certain portion of a program.
You're giving them a safety net, while also encouraging them to fully commit to the process.
Exactly. And then there are anti-guarantees, which are basically saying all sales are final, but you have to be very careful with these. You need a really strong justification for why you're not offering a refund.
It makes me think of those high-end coaching programs, where they're very selective about who they work with, and they're confident that their clients will get results if they follow the program.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
And finally, there are implied guarantees, which are more common in performance-based models, where your payment is contingent upon achieving certain results for the client. For example, if you're a marketing consultant and you guarantee a certain number of leads or sales.
Okay, so we've got bonuses and guarantees to sweeten the deal and reduce risk. What about scarcity and urgency? Aren't those just marketing gimmicks?
They can be. But Hormozi argues that when used ethically, they can actually be beneficial for both the customer and the business. Scarcity taps into our fear of missing out by limiting the availability of your offer, whether it's through limited quantities, a time-bound discount, or exclusive bonuses. You create a sense of urgency and make people feel like they need to act now or risk missing out.
Like those limited time offer deals you see everywhere.
Exactly. He also talks about using things like waiting lists, announcing when something is sold out, and even creating recurring scarcity events like monthly limited releases. It keeps the excitement and demand high.
So you're strategically using those psychological triggers to encourage action. And what about urgency?
Urgency is all about time pressure. You're giving people a reason to act now rather than later. Deadlines are a classic example. This offer expires at midnight.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's like that Black Friday frenzy, where everyone's rushing to get the best deals before they're gone.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be a manufactured deadline either. You can also use urgency to emphasize the benefits of starting sooner rather than later. Like, join this cohort now and start seeing results by summer.
You're framing it in a way that highlights the opportunity cost of delaying their decision.
Right. And for those who might be thinking this is all a bit manipulative, Hormozi stresses the importance of authenticity. Don't create fake scarcity or deadlines just to pressure people. Make sure your offer is genuinely valuable and that your scarcity and urgency tactics are aligned with your business goals and your customers' best interests.
It's about using those principles responsibly to help people take action towards their goals. Okay, so we've got this amazing offer. It's stacked with bonuses and guarantees. It's got that fear of missing out factor. What's next?
Yeah, you need to package it all up in a way that grabs attention and makes people want to learn more. That's where strategic naming comes in.
He's got that magic formula for crafting irresistible offer names.
Yes, remember, it stands for market, attractive character, guarantee or enhancer, time frame, and container word. You want to hit all those points in your offer name to make it as compelling as possible.
So instead of just saying weight loss program, You might say something like the Busy Mom's 6-week rapid weight loss challenge or the executive's 30-day total body transformation blueprint.
You nailed it. You're speaking directly to your target market, using words that evoke positive emotions, highlighting a guarantee or special offer, specifying a time frame, and using a container word that suggests a comprehensive solution.
And it makes a huge difference. You're not just describing the offer, you're selling the transformation.
And don't forget about using alliteration and rhyming to make your offer names even more memorable and catchy.
Okay, so we've got the name down. What about actually presenting the offer? Any tips there?
He emphasizes the importance of clearly articulating the value proposition. You need to answer the question, what's in it for me? Focus on the benefits, not just the features. Don't just tell people what your offer is. Tell them how it's going to change their lives.
Paint that picture of their dream outcome.
Right.
Show them what's possible if they say yes to your offer.
Exactly. And use stories, testimonials, and case studies to back up your claims and build credibility. People are much more likely to believe something if they see that it's worked for others.
It's like that social proof we talked about earlier. Seeing other people achieve success with your offer makes it feel much more real and attainable.
Exactly. And finally, make sure your call to action is clear and compelling. Tell people exactly what you want them to do and make it easy for them to take that next step.
So, no more vague, learn more buttons. Give them a clear, specific action to take, like enroll now, download your free guide, or book a call.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about something that often trips up entrepreneurs, pricing. Hormozi is a big believer in charging what your offer is worth.
I think that's something a lot of us struggle with. We undervalue our expertise, and we're afraid to charge what we're truly worth.
He addresses that head on. He argues that lowering your prices to attract customers often backfires. It leads to lower perceived value, smaller profit margins, and ultimately, a less sustainable business. Instead, he encourages you to focus on creating a massive gap between what your offer costs you to deliver and the price you charge.
So, you want to create a price-to-value discrepancy, where the customer feels like they're getting a steal.
Exactly. Think about those big companies like phone companies or pharmaceutical companies. They charge customers far more than the actual cost of providing their services or products.
And we accept those prices because we understand the value we're getting in return.
Right. We're willing to pay a premium for convenience, reliability, and results. The key is to replicate that dynamic in your own business.
He also talks about the importance of confidence when it comes to pricing.
Right.
Yeah.
He even quotes Dan Kennedy, who says, charge as high a price as you can say out loud without cracking a smile. It's about believing in the value you're providing and not being afraid to ask for what you're worth.
I love that quote. So, once you've nailed down your pricing, how do you keep things fresh and exciting over time?
That's where the concept of offer refreshing comes in. Hormozi emphasizes that you don't need to completely reinvent the wheel every time, but you do need to keep things interesting.
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
Without overwhelming yourself or confusing your audience?
He suggests starting with small tweaks. Experiment with different ad creatives. Tweak the copy in your ads. Maybe change the name or the wrapper of your offer. You can also experiment with the duration of your offer or the enhancer, like the discount or bonus you're offering, only as a last resort, he says. Should you change the actual monetization structure or the core elements of your offer?
It's about finding that balance between consistency and novelty.
Exactly. And always pay attention to the data and feedback you're getting. See what's working, what's not, and be willing to adjust your approach accordingly.
It makes me think of his story about how he was losing sales. Because he was too rigid about his weight loss program, he insisted that clients prepare all their meals at home, which was a major obstacle for people who ate out frequently.
Right. He eventually realized he needed to be more flexible and offer a solution for that. So he created an eating out guide that helped clients make healthy choices at restaurants. That simple addition to his offer removed a major barrier to purchase and allowed him to close more sales.
That's a great reminder that we need to be constantly listening to our customers and looking for ways to improve our offers.
Absolutely. And sometimes the most effective solutions aren't the most obvious or logical ones. It's about understanding the psychology behind people's decisions and finding ways to address those underlying needs and desires.
We've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about finding your starving crowd, crafting a grand slam offer, using bonuses, guarantees, scarcity, urgency, strategic naming, pricing confidently, and even refreshing your offers. What's the key takeaway for our listeners? What's the one thing they should remember from this deep dive?
I think the most important takeaway is this. Anyone can create an irresistible offer. It's not about being a slick salesperson or using manipulative tactics. It's about genuinely understanding your customers, delivering exceptional value, and presenting your offer in a way that makes it impossible to refuse.
It's about shifting the focus from selling to serving, from convincing to providing, from talking to transforming.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It really is. It's about understanding that psychology behind why people buy.
Yeah.
And
Tapping into that authentically.
And that's what I find so inspiring about Hormozi's story. He doesn't shy away from the emotional roller coaster that comes with being an entrepreneur. He talks about the ups and downs, the wins and the losses, and how he persevered through it all.
Especially coming back from that financial ruin he describes at the beginning. That had to take incredible grit and determination.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
He doesn't take all the credit for his success. He talks a lot about the support he received from his wife, Layla, who believed in him even when he doubted himself.
It's a great reminder that we don't have to do this alone. Having a strong support system, whether it's a partner, a mentor, or a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, can make all the difference.
He also talks about how hitting that first $100,000 in his bank account was a pivotal moment for him. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the sense of security and validation it provided.
It's that feeling of finally breaking through, of knowing that you're capable of creating the life you want.
Exactly. It's a feeling I think every entrepreneur aspires to.
And even after achieving that level of success, he stresses the importance of continuing to learn and grow. It's not about reaching a certain point and then coasting. It's about constantly pushing yourself to be better.
He embodies that growth mindset. He's always experimenting, always learning, always looking for ways to improve.
And he encourages others to do the same. He ends the book with a call to action, urging entrepreneurs to take what they've learned and use it to make a positive impact on the world.
It's not just about building successful businesses. It's about using your skills and talents to make a difference.
So to wrap things up, I think the biggest takeaway from $100 offers is that creating irresistible offers is about more than just marketing tactics. It's about understanding your customers, delivering exceptional value, and building a business that's both profitable and purposeful.
It's about approaching entrepreneurship with a spirit of generosity, creativity, and a commitment to continuous growth.
And for our listeners who are feeling inspired to apply these principles, I highly recommend picking up a copy of $100 Offers and diving deeper into the details.
This deep dive has just scratched the surface. There's a wealth of knowledge and practical advice waiting for you in the book.
And be sure to subscribe to the Business Book Club for more deep dives into transformative books like this one. We'll be back soon with another episode, so stay tuned. Now that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. By the way, if you're looking for a detailed breakdown of this book, head over to my other channel, The Weekend Book Club. There, you'll find a book summary video that dives even deeper into the key concepts, plus a free book summary to download. The link is in the show notes below. Don't miss out. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.